Mike and Jake, they kind of know stuff. Kind of. Mike and Jake, the almost experts. Just bros being dudes when the gang gets reckless. Mike and Jake, the almost experts. Tell it like it is, and they might be guessing.
Welcome back to episode 9 of Mike and Jake, the Almost Experts. Today we're going to have a special guest with us. We're going to be talking a little bit about the NCAA tournament. We're going to talk about some coaching. We're going to let our special guest go on a little bit of a rant. And we're also going to finish this thing up talking about some weird food combos. So stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the man who does things his own way, the mastermind behind the chaos. He's the owner, the creator, and the driving force of the one, the only Man in Misfits, a guy who does not follow the rules, he rewrites them. Give it up for Colton Mannon.
Yeah! Colt!
I don't think Bruce Buffer could have been.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I've got goosebumps.
Wow. I mean, and what was crazy was I asked Jake what he was going to say, and he just said, just wait.
He didn't even write that down. That was just off the top of his head.
That was off the dome. Yeah, it's off the dome. Yeah, Jake does that every now and then. That is awesome. Well, Colt, how do you feel? The first time on the pod?
A little nervous. I feel like I'm going to get asked some really pushy questions because I usually have really outlandish things to say. So this is going to be fun, I think.
Yeah, and I think that my whole point of what we're going to do here today is I'm going to try to fire you up and just see what happens.
Just get him so excited.
Fight? Yeah. That's what we're going to do today?
No, it's not what I necessarily want to do. It's just what I think is probably going to end up happening at some point. But, yeah, I just want to fire you up. I want to get you to go on a little bit of a rant. I just want to just sit back, maybe go get something to eat, something to drink, and just let you roll.
Just let him work.
This went from quick fire fun to...
Oh, it is. It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So let's start it off a little bit. We're going to talk a little sports.
Okay.
I think that'd be the easiest thing for us to do. Kind of get accustomed to this and get you unnervous.
Get our toes in the water.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about the NCAA tournament right now, or do you want to talk about, the World Baseball Classic?
NCAA tournament, my best bracket is at 77% accuracy. So I don't know if that's good or not.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
It feels good to me.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you want to know what's awesome is the one that we put money on at the Madison's house. That's at like 50 at best. So I'm so screwed in that. It's not even funny.
Who you got winning?
Did you ultimately have like the same team winning on most of your brackets?
I actually went your dad's route on one. So I've got my best one. I have Arizona winning.
Yeah.
That's at 77%.
Uh-huh.
And then I pretty much did what I did at their house and picked Florida because that's the team I drafted in our big auction or whatever. That's at 55%. So I don't know if I'm going to win anything this year. Or I might pull it out. I don't know.
It kind of brings a question. Is it cheating if you have more than one bracket?
No.
I don't think so when you talk about $1 million on the line.
Okay, sure.
I mean, if they let me do 25, I'm going to do 25.
I have more than one bracket too. I was just...
Yeah, no,
I know there's some people that are very purist about it. They just get the one bracket.
And I get that.
Yeah.
And I yeah, it's cool. That's cool. But like when I fill out the brackets, I'm not filling out 50 brackets on my own in terms of like I print them off and I just have them at my house and I keep track of it. I only do several brackets on ESPN because I want to have I want one that's perfect. And
is there any perfect left right now?
I actually don't know. That's
got to be no way.
Well, I mean, you could probably look.
Can I look?
Yeah, I think so. So to answer your question, you were saying you got a couple different ones.
There are 2 perfect brackets remaining.
That's wild.
That is wild.
To 26 and a half brackets have fallen. 2 perfect.
So
that's incredible.
I would be so interested to look at those 2 brackets and see what else they have going on or what they're predicting. Predicting. Well, just like if they picked Iowa to beat Florida or something like that, that'd be awesome. But to answer, not answer your question, but to follow up with what you said, you had a couple teams. I like Arizona. I think Arizona is really stinking good. I like Michigan a lot. I'm a little worried about their guard play in the big games. I know they have some bigs that can really, really play, but I really like what Arizona's got. Duke, they were down a starter. I think in that first game they didn't look good against Siena, and then last night they looked awesome. So I do think they can win. But it's funny. You look and you take a deep dive into the teams that are in the tournament and like who can win. And they say that KenPom kind of predicts, and KenPom, I think in the last, 25 years, something like that, KenPom has basically narrowed it down to just a few teams every year. And I think it's top 25 in defensive efficiency and top 25 in offensive efficiency. And there's only 5 teams right now that's in that. And I think it's the number one. So Duke, Florida, Arizona, Michigan, and then there's maybe Houston. I think it might be Houston that they predict. So it's going to be one of those 5 is what it is. And the only outlier to that is the 2014 UConn. I think that's what it was, or 2013 UConn. I can't remember which year they won off the top of my head, but I think that's always interesting to see that. I don't know if I'm a fan of any of those 5 teams really, but
Well, Mike, here's something that might trigger you a little bit because I've got a live score. Mizzou going down to Miami. You were upset about that.
oh yeah, it was very.
To the point
Well,
where
I mean, just
I
leave
didn't
it.
wanna
Just
send
leave
you
it to
a bad
Mizzou to have
cookie.
basically a home game.
Are you okay text? But
Drive 100
Miami
miles, yeah.
is down 8 with 2.5 minutes left, and the winner of that plays 11 seed Texas. And I've always wondered this: why do 11 seeds have to have a play-in game?
Oh, that's a good question because I don't know the
Weird.
answer.
Weird, right?
Yeah, it is weird because
I've always wondered that.
yeah, you would think that it would be like the 16s.
Like, what puts them in the play-in game? And if they aren't as big of a guarantee as like the OVC champ Tennessee State, who's a 16, you would think they'd flip-flop, right? Or you would put Tennessee State at like 15, and then someone that didn't win their conference but is in a play-in game. You'd
So-
think they'd be last, right?
Yeah. So to kind of to go with your question there, I think you have to remember what this podcast is called. We are the almost experts.
Almost.
So while you were doing that, I went and Googled it because
yeah.
I
don't know the answer.
So according to Google, it says number 11 seed plays in the NCAA tournament first 4 because they are usually among the final 4 at large teams selected by the committee. So they're just in a large team. Playing games often against other at large or low seed automatic qualifiers.
Yeah, so it's probably like more or less like the major conferences. That's probably who it is, like the first 4 out, first 4 in, all that good stuff.
I understand that because if you
That's a
told
great
me
question, though.
Yeah, it is a
Tennessee
good
State
question.
was 11 and Texas was 16, I'd probably be like, ooh. That's
Well, and to go along with that, what was shocking was not very often do you see probably the number one player in the NBA draft, which is AJ Diabanza or whatever. Very rarely do you see those guys lose in the first round. But you're talking about a scary matchup. I mean, BYU is really, really good, but they don't quite play the schedule that Texas plays. Right. You know what I mean? And even NC State, Texas beat NC State, which I really liked NC State. I actually picked them to win against Texas, and I picked them to win against BYU, which is obviously not good for me when Texas wins. But I did think whoever was going to win that game was going to have a chance against BYU. But, I mean, you just don't see it very often. I mean, AJ, that kid can freaking play. That kid can play.
Yeah. Well, it comes back in kind of the same scheduling thing that we talked about with football, almost to a point of, the Texas coach getting mad at the beginning of the year because they're playing Ohio State to lead off the year.
Exactly.
And they're coming back and saying, well, of course we're going to, have a tougher schedule. Of course, there's going to be teams that are undefeated and stuff because they don't play against good teams.
Oh yeah, and we'll be going down a rabbit hole to talk about all that crap. I mean,
because I mean, there's a lot of people watching that type of game. I'm not going to tune into Texas versus Texas State. I'd love to watch Texas and Ohio State week 1. It's something you can look forward to. And
oh yeah, it's fun, and that's
wake
high
up,
level.
You can wake up from your Alabama versus Troy University nap, and then you're like, oh man, Texas is playing Ohio State, sweet.
Yep.
It's one of I think that's really it. But
yeah,
it just surprises me coaches complain about that whenever I think all that goes into consideration for their rankings as well. Like
100%.
they act like they don't though, so that's what throws me off.
That's why we have a problem. We have a problem in all sorts of different levels. Like you playing the good competition is even in a loss, like it should help you at the end. Yeah. It should. That's the whole point. But talking a little bit more about the NCAA tournament, the Kentucky-Santa Clara game, first round game. I don't know if you guys watched that or not, but it was unbelievable. I mean, Santa Clara, it's a great game, goes back and forth, and then Santa Clara hits a three with
I saw highlights.
Yeah, with three seconds left, something like that, 4 seconds left. I don't exactly remember what it was, but he hits a three, just the biggest shot ever. Santa Clara's coach is over there calling a timeout. Nobody grants him a timeout.
Yes, I did see this.
They throw it in. Kentucky throws it in, up by 3. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm a basketball coach. I've lost an entire way too many games. I've lost because we've been up 3, and I let it play out. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's actually insane how often I have lost in that situation with less than 10 seconds on the clock. Less than 10 seconds on the clock, up by 3. Other team comes down, hits a 3 to send it to overtime and lose in overtime. I mean, I've done it so much. I'm over it. I don't think you should ever do it. I think you have to foul. I think you foul and you take your chances that they make one free throw, miss the other free throw on purpose so they can try to get an offensive rebound and then have to score it again. That's basically 4 good things that have to happen for a team to beat you or tie you versus one good thing, which is a prayer or a 3-point shot that goes in and then all of a sudden deflated. I mean, I know people say, well, you don't want to stop the clock, all that stuff. I'm telling you, I've lost too many games. And the one game that I fouled in that situation, we won by 4. So it's like, I don't believe that.
It's a whole new world of coaching.
And I believe that's what the Santa Clara coach was probably going to do.
Yeah, he looked pretty upset too.
Oh, he was mad. Yeah. I mean, he was over there. I mean, he was wanting a timeout, and I think that he was, because another reason why you have to call a timeout in this situation is because half his team wasn't even playing. Yeah. They were celebrating. They were fired up. The guy that hit the shot was turned around. He was doing stuff to the crowd. Like, they were fired up, and, Kentucky comes down, and the kid hit an amazing shot. Like, any way you want to shake it, like, that shot was actually unbelievable, and it was not a very high percentage shot, and he made it, and they went to overtime, and Kentucky won, and now we should be talking about Santa Clara beating them, but we're not.
That should bring up a great story. I remember being at a certain practice down 3 points, and we were playing against Mike's girls, and we were told we had no timeouts.
Yeah.
So we were down 3, and they were shooting, and we had no timeouts. So we got hometowned, and we played our tails off that
during
day.
practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
Well, we were actually
I don't know how much of this story you can repeat, but I just remember a certain practice where we got hometown pretty hard, and I think I'm the first person in the house that the Lances built to backtalk Mike Snyder in his own gym.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I told you go home.
He actually made me run.
Yeah, it's like, get on the line. He just looked at me. I said, get on the line.
And then I just saw 15 years ago when I played, and I'm like, what do I do? But I don't know any different, because that's all I got told when I played.
Yeah, so no,
man, I'm back at home,
actually, the situation that Colton is talking about that we were doing, we were actually up by 2 and shooting our last free throw. And, you're right though, because I wanted us to make the free throw, and I wasn't going to give you a timeout because I wanted the girls to understand what they were supposed to do, which was
advancing it.
which was we had to foul. I wanted you to throw it in, and I wanted you to foul, and I didn't want you to call a timeout and throw a ball deep, and then you guys, be athletic. I mean, you and your athletic self just going up and just getting a pass over top of somebody and shooting it, and we foul. And
so me and Jesse were just all over the rim that day, dude. I'm surprised the house didn't come down.
This is one of my favorite things about Colton, is how just into whatever he is doing, he gets. Like, we're literally sitting here on a podcast talking about a practice that Colton got asked to come help scrimmage at.
Yes.
And he is getting worked up about it because he said he got hometown. It's incredible.
Yeah, he told me if I wanted some good home cooking, I would have went down to the local gas station and got the chicken strips in the hot box. Come on now, coach. It's like, Colton, calm down, bud. All right, we're just trying to get better, okay?
Girls basketball.
Hey,
I'm glad his girls didn't repeat what I said.
oh well, yeah.
I'm glad they didn't repeat me, but maybe they did. I don't know, but I told them they had every right to say it if I made a bad call. 'Cause,
Well, that was probably the funniest part about the whole deal was not about what you said or didn't say. It wasn't really that. It was you walking in and the girls being like, "Is he reffing? What's happening?"
They remembered him.
Yeah, it's like,
Man,
hey,
I
what?
missed every single shot I took too, and anytime I touched the ball, I shot it. I think.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you didn't see a bad shot that
I
day.
didn't see a teammate either. I didn't. I tried to.
Sorry,
I
Jess.
tried to show them up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, Lance, Jess.
Oh,
And one of your other JV girls that you gave us,
Yeah.
hometown and dude, didn't get a varsity kid.
that's
Didn't get a
funny.
varsity kid.
Well, let me.
Oh, actually, I think she did, but I don't know.
Well, I really
It didn't
appreciate you
matter
coming
'cause
in. I
shot
thought
everything.
I thought you got better. So, talking about a little bit about girls basketball, I'm going to tell you guys something that's wild. This is wild. I don't know if I've told you already or not. It just doesn't happen very often. It's not really a flex, but we were talking about a good schedule, and we're talking about basketball in general, and then you got on to our high school girls basketball practice. So this year, we actually played the Class 1 runner-up, so second place in state, the Class 2 runner-up, the Class 3 runner-up,
He ain't done yet. Watch it.
and the Class 4 runner-up, which is actually insane. It just doesn't happen very often.
Stack them up.
Yeah, so we were 0 for 6 in those games, so it wasn't like
We played very hard.
But
very hard,
But
all
going
right?
back to what we were talking about with strength of schedule stuff, your girls got better because you played against that kind of competition.
Oh, 100%.
Whether you won or lost, whatever, but you know that they got better playing in those games.
Yeah, and the only thing that I'll say about that, what you just said, was in the district championship game this year, we were able to win, but I remember that it was getting really, really hard, and we were really, really tired, and we were playing New Madrid. They're a good team, well coached, and I remember calling a timeout with 3 minutes left, and literally all I talked about was, you don't play the schedule that you do to punk out now. You play a tough schedule because now you know what it's like to play on empty and get it and go further and move the needle more and get it done. And no coaching was involved in that. I mean, there was no anything other than just trying to fire them up. And ultimately, I don't think we gave up an offensive rebound in the last 3 minutes, and that was a big reason why we won. We were just really tough there. So yes, I think strength of schedule. I think tough schedule. It really, really helps. Really helps prepare all these teams, and that's why in college football, the way it's going, it's pretty hard because Texas should have probably got in, but they had 3 losses and they didn't. So that's dumb.
Mike adjusted to coaching girls because I remember a guy he wasn't complaining, but he was talking about the transition from coaching boys to coaching girls, and he said and I actually believe it, the whole dynamic changed. The way he had to coach people changed. He said he goes from, boys' timeouts where they're cussing at each other and, it's something like that to, for some reason you were winning and you had 2 girls crying and it was just kind of like, what's going on? Emotions are different and you have to talk to them different and you have to tell them different stories and the focus is a little different but you said they were way too literal as well. So you couldn't, tell them certain things without them literally going out and doing the certain things. And I think adjusting to that would be way harder than what we can talk about right now. But,
well,
man,
it's
I don't know if I could do it. Coaching high school boys football for 8 years and then, hey, dude.
Turn around and do softball.
You've got to go do softball or girls basketball. I don't know if I could do it.
Well,
I don't. Some days I think they would act the same, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this, I do know that I loved coaching boys. I loved coaching girls. Both of them have such good things and such bad things that go along with them. It's hard to manage. Teenage girl. I mean, you have a daughter, Jake.
Sure.
I mean, 10 years from now, when she's running around, is she 6? Is she 7?
She's 4.
4. Okay. Wow.
She looks like she's 7.
Oh, I
She
thought
is
she
6
was in
feet tall
kindergarten.
like her
She's in
father.
preschool. Oh, okay. All right. So
She's gonna be 9.5 years
even still, 10 years from now, when she's 14 years old, running around as a freshman, I mean, handling those
Yeah, I'm
emotions.
scared to death. For that time.
Yeah, it can be difficult, but I mean, the girls are they're awesome.
You also give them a lot of credit. You said they're a lot smarter than any boy you've ever coached.
Well,
They're a hell of a lot smarter.
well,
I believe that.
yeah. So I did bring in some basketball boys one time that played for me at Holcomb, and they came in to scrimmage us this year, and I remember clear as day. Max and Hunter, shout out Max and Hunter. They're probably going to listen to this. They tell me they listen all the time. So Max and Hunter, though, they came into practice to scrimmage us a little bit, and I had some girls shooting on the gun, and I made a comment, and whatever it was, whether it was, hey, move around, you're not down, you whatever, get ready. And I had one of the girls just kind of be smart back to me as a joke, not she didn't mean anything bad by it at all.
Like what I said.
She just she just said something. She just said something kind of smart alecky back to me and kind of laughed, and as soon as she said it, Max and Hunter, who was putting on their shoes, just turned around and looked at me because they knew that, like, oh my God, if I would have said that, and all I did was laugh, and I said, oh, so and so, whatever her name. I mean, I know who it was, but I'm not going to say her name on here. But I just told her, like, hey, no, we're not going to do that, whatever. And I just kind of blew it off like nothing. And Max literally threw his shoe down, like just football Gronk spiked it in the ground. And I come walking over there and I said, what's wrong? And he goes, if I would have said that to you 4 or 5 years ago, you would have ripped me a new one. And I was like, well, I'm different. Yeah. I'm different now. He's like, no, it's freaking stupid. Like, I didn't deserve some of the things you said. And I'm like, I know, Max. Trust me. I wish I was better. So, but yeah, no, that's 100% facts right there. But it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
You seem like you have fun.
Yeah.
My brain is still kind of on college football, even though it's not football season.
But
before we get into like World Baseball Classic and further in, I'm curious on what you think about this. So, Luke Combs went to Appalachian State.
Yep.
Right? And he came back and he said that he's not going to donate any money towards NIL at Appalachian State until they make contracts for the kids. He said he wants the kids to stick around for 2 years before he donates any money, before he does anything. I'm curious what your thoughts on that, because obviously this is something we've talked about. It's a hot topic we've talked about.
Yeah.
The NIL and transfer and stuff like that. There might be something to this if you say, hey, you got to sign a contract, stay for 2 years before you go on somewhere else.
I love it.
I think it's awesome.
I think that'd fix a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool if they had like a 2-year contract.
For you to get whatever X amount of money you signed up for, you have to stay here for 2 years. Doesn't matter if you got mad at the coach during practice and you're ready to leave right now. It doesn't matter for you to get your full amount, your salary, essentially.
Yeah,
2-year contract.
Yeah, and well, I think that if you did that, you're probably opening up a can of worms for contract negotiations and like trying to get re-signing and reworking contracts.
And then it goes even further into what's the point of playing professional sports?
Yeah.
If you're just going to be really good at college.
Exactly. That's why I say that I love the thought of it. I love the thought on paper, but I also go, but what is that going to turn into?
Is there an arbitration process?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Yeah, I mean,
Do they have to sit down and say, hey, I think I'm worth 1.5, and they're like, oh, dude, you're in trouble. You're $750K at best.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
It was just interesting to me that was his, because obviously Luke Combs has tons of money and he loves Appalachian. He actually wants them to go back down to FCS. Just to compete. But it's just, it's another wrench to throw in there because obviously it's something that has to get fixed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right answer, but it's at least something fun to think about.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's interesting. Like, it's an interesting point because I think that it could work, but I'm just worried about what it would exactly turn into. But going back to what you just said about them going down to FCS, I'm sure it is really frustrating to be a lower level college football team competing at the FBS level because every time Appalachian State gets a good coach,
He goes somewhere.
Yeah, he's gone. I mean, like
He's there for a year or
yeah,
two or whatever.
Eli Drinkwitz. Yeah, Eli Drinkwitz was there for 1 year and then comes to Mizzou, and it just happens all the time to those schools. So I am sure that it is frustrating, and couldn't even imagine it. But since we're talking about football and we're talking about coaching, high school coaching, let's talk about something that Colton does.
I know a guy that does that.
Yeah, Colton does that. So Colton, I have a serious question. I don't want you to get fired up. I love football.
I'm not gonna get fired.
Well, you might get fired up.
You
might get fired up because I love football. I think it's great. I think it's one of the best sports ever created. I love it. Watch it all the time. I'm also a coach. I also do a whole lot of scouting. I do a bunch of stuff. I watch a lot of game film. In high school football, you guys do so much scouting. So much so that you guys usually meet on Sundays, right?
And Saturdays, right?
So like on Friday night.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna give you the whole thing. I want you to. You don't have to go into great detail. I want you to tell me what exactly you do on a week basis when you're coaching football.
So like after Friday night, win or lose, we go in and we have to do our trades. So we upload it to Huddle, all the film, all that, and then we get our trades out. And usually by Saturday morning, we bring the guys in 8:30, 8 o'clock. Lift out our kinks, recovery type stuff, and there's actually a lot of reasons you bring high school kids in the morning. But the main one we're going to say is for recovery, But after and it's usually like an hour. We weight room, they stretch, they run. It's all just kind of tied together. They're in and out in an hour, unless they're with the trainer doing something. But after that, I'd say an hour or two after the last kid leaves, we're watching film, making sure we know who's watching what. And on Sundays, we kind of have to come prepared. I remember when I was defensive line, I had to do the other offenses run plays, and the secondary coach had to do the offenses pass routes by certain formations. So we would have one formation, have their whole offense down. Then we go on to the next formation. Every route they've ever ran out of that with the tendency, whatever, blocking scheme. And because that set us up for practice for the week. Inside run, team. We print these cards, and that's what's on it. The only thing that sucks is we get the last 2 weeks. So if we don't make a deal with another coach, like a third-party coach, like, hey, I'll give you this film for that, whatever, we get 2 weeks. So we don't know if they're adding or taking away. Now we do, because Jeff's really good at making these types of deals, and I don't know what else I'm really allowed to talk about on that. But 9 weeks out of the 10, I'd say we get at least 85% of every team's season. Yeah,
so you watch the other teams that you're about to play, or the team that you're about to play on Sunday?
Yeah.
So
and
usually, so Saturday you're watching your film usually?
Yeah, so I'll get there, and usually a lot of coaches get there early so we can watch ours. And we've kind of gone away from having the whole team sit down and watch to position-based. So we'll have, like if Mannon was our defensive coordinator, so he's watching the defensive stuff. So he's going to have the secondary and the linebackers in our film room. And we have kind of an area we watch film in the weight room. We'll have both offensive and defensive line. And then like Brett Bruce would take the quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers into our actual office.
Okay, so you basically break it down. Oh, that's cool.
We break it up pretty good.
So then you watch the other teams on Sunday, and then you're basically at practice for the next 4 days. That's what's shocking to me in football. Like you play once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you get 4 days to prepare, and like basketball, there's so much to scout, and you might play 4 games in a week. And you gotta just go from one place to the other, with what you're doing or what you're trying to guard and what you're trying to do this and that and the other and with. And I just think it's shocking that football gets that much time and can break it down like that.
Well, the hardest thing about it is, so we have our starters, so they're not focused on what the other team's running as like a scout team. So they know what we're running on D, obviously. or even on offense and what they're going to face. The hardest thing is explaining to our scout team, not only teaching them our stuff, but teaching them in a week, really 3 days. We have 3 contact days, and then we have like a walkthrough day where we walk through any type of game scenario. It's not padded. It's about half speed. And it's just getting guys used to running on and off the field, certain situations. But those 3 days, it's really hard to teach these guys other tendencies that teams do.
Right.
And then they have to turn around and be a backup and run our stuff. So, like, I've always been a big fan of scout team. I mean, that's how I usually evaluate guys that don't play, is their attitude towards it, how they can handle on-the-fly info, like, hey, this isn't a down block anymore. It's this type of thing, this isn't what you're looking for like ours. It's on. That's usually the challenge of the week. And then
that's interesting.
There's a lot of teams that we can't emulate. Like, I know I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this one, but Jackson, they run what they do really well, and they have athletes that we don't. So how do we emulate those guys in practice without using a starter that has to see it on his end and get used to what he's going to see? We're not blessed with a whole roster full of athletes where I can just, like, Jake, get in there, you're going to be number 8 this week, suit up, baby, But that's the biggest challenge, is getting it as accurate as possible to where they see it. And then obviously they're the backup varsity, so the quality isn't going to be as high. Like, they're not going to get pushed around like they're going to be on Friday. Like, they're seeing a varsity 2 all week, and then they go into a varsity 1. We're trying to change that part. That's the biggest thing going in, I think, is how we can combat that.
Oh yeah, no, that's probably the biggest challenge as a coach.
For a long time.
Yeah, well, I think it's everywhere. I don't think it's just.
No, it's not just us.
Yeah, it's not.
Teams do that.
Yeah, it's literally like everywhere. I'm sure that everybody has a similar type of problem, or most people have a similar type of problem, which is always hard. But that's why we do it. I mean, sign up to coach, and it's fun. It's fun. But I do think it's wild that you guys have that much film sessions and you've got that much time to prepare, and you have this many coaches that are helping out. And meanwhile, I probably have one of the best assistant coaches ever. She's phenomenal. I mean, Kelly is unbelievable. And but I don't make her watch film. I don't make her come in on a Saturday or a Sunday and watch film. I mean, she probably would watch if I wanted to, but I just never asked. And I just think it's crazy that you got so many guys.
As the year goes, these meetings on Sundays get longer. We usually keep it to an hour on Saturday because you got to have a day off. You'll lose your freaking mind. And I think there was a handful of times I did last year, but on those Sundays, man, like week 1, we're going off of a lot of high tendency stuff from the prior season and jamboree film. So it's like we'll be there maybe an hour. We're just drawing up their jamboree plays. Yeah, that may not even be there.
So
like week 8, like if we play week 8, I mean we've got 7 weeks worth of stuff we have to make. And I mean Huddle's an app because it's a lazy guy like me's dream. You can filter everything. For somehow I don't get the science behind it, but you can plug in our terminology and what we call formations, and it reads the picture and the film and what they're lined up in, and it'll tell you what they're in and in our terms. And I'm like, I have no clue how this works, but
there's
it's
some
awesome.
guy somewhere that makes a lot of money and is way smarter than us who figured it out.
And then you can filter it by formation and it makes it easy to draw the plays.
Yeah, well, I can probably help you out. I think that I could be that guy because I think that 50% of the time they're going to run it to the right, and the other 50% of the time they're going to run it to the left.
Now that's 100%. You haven't thrown a pass yet.
Yeah, which is not happen. It does not happen very often in high school football.
Teams, fun fact, that we like. I think one year we played Fox and Hillsboro, and for a 9, I know we play Hillsboro week 9 every year, and I think we play Fox in the playoffs. So 9 and 10, or week 9 and week 11. We're under 15% passing. So it's incredible. I would lose my mind if I was a receiver for these teams because it's like I'm here to block. Like,
you are.
I'm a very undersized, really athletic offensive lineman that's really far away from everybody. And I feel like I don't know if I would go as far as trying to get under that corner's skin or just be really good friends with him. Like, hey, man, don't lay me out. It's going up the middle, dog. Like, I'm gonna take 3 steps.
Come on. We won't get. Neither one of us can get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Let's live to see week 10.
We can clean. You don't have to wash these jerseys
Yeah,
afterwards.
just backpedal 3 steps. I'll take 3 steps at you. The play's probably going to be over by now because we only run the ball up the middle. See, that's the stuff I think about sometimes.
Yeah. Well.
Because I never got that opportunity to go out there and be like a receiver. I always had.
Oh, we're getting deep.
Man.
Like, have y'all ever gotten into 3-point stance? You cannot breathe after about 8 seconds. I'm serious. You could be in the best shape of your life. You could be. There's professionals that have to at least, like, if they're not set, they're at least twisting around like, all right, we're here again. And that's why I'm never a fan of the, like, you know, when they line up on 4th and short and then they're trying to, like, snap the ball and then they're faking it. Like, I can only imagine what those poor dudes up front are going through. Like, and at least in a defensive stance, you're not, like, there's a difference. And so, like, a lot of your weight's forward. But, like, an offensive stance, you're literally squatting like we are in these chairs, and you have to find a way to get this hand between your feet a little bit out in front and try to breathe and think at the same time. And man, it's a struggle, guys. It is. It really is.
was it Will Campbell? Oh, he's the offensive lineman for the Patriots, and when he was at LSU, he was going to be like the number.
Yeah.
He was going to be a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Do you remember that interview that he had?
Yeah, I know.
He basically said, like, they asked him about being on the offensive line versus defensive line. He was like, man, it's simple. Like, you got a defensive lineman that's lining up with you, and if he gets 1 sack a game for 12 games straight, he's going to be a top 5 pick. And he goes, if I'm on the offensive line and I give up 1 sack a game for 12 straight games, I'm going to be working at Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're talking about one time getting to the quarterback every game. It's like, I'm going to be working at Amazon. Like, this ain't for the week, you know.
That's why when guys want to go 2-point stance on offense where they don't put said hand on the ground, I'm like, you know what? Go for it. I get it. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't even know what you're talking about now, but I think it's funny. You got fired up there for a second. That was my whole point. That was fun. I liked every bit of that.
It's a high scrutiny position for not a lot of people knowing the struggles with them.
Right, but you do.
Oh, I know.
I mean, yeah, you
I
were
feel
born in
like
the
a
struggle.
couple times.
What do you think would be the worst position to play? I have my opinion. The worst position to play on the football field. Before you say, my opinion would be the long snapper. Because no one knows who you are until you screw up. Then everybody knows who you are.
Mine would be the guy that holds the field goals.
Yeah, exactly.
That holds the kicks. If I fumble this thing at all, there's a lot of things that can happen. Well, obviously he's going to miss because I'm holding the ball sideways with the laces towards him. But, like, what if I don't hold it right and I get my hand kicked or something by a professional kicker? You know what I'm saying? Or what if I'm, like, not lined up straight and the ball goes way over there and I've got 400-pound adrenaline monsters running at me wanting to rip my face off trying to get to this football.
I love the self-control you had.
Yeah,
there was a lot of self-control right there. That was good.
I flexed my muscle a little bit trying not to.
Okay, anyways, I was just curious.
I don't, to answer your question, I don't know.
And you know what's crazy is, like, if you look at any, like, I go to football games and stuff.
You do?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
When I have time.
Okay.
My leisure time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My mess around time that I don't get ever. But they do put the long snappers and the field goal holders and the place. Like, what if you're the backup and they don't print that out in time? And then so they think now you're Jake. I'm Jake Nicholson instead of me.
Right.
And then I have a game snapping the ball 4 or 5 times when we score 4 or 5 times. And then they're like, man, Jake did awesome.
But really it was Colton.
See, I get where he's coming from with the nobody knows who you are. Nobody's going to know to care to be like, hey,
Yeah.
Long snapper changed
snap.
numbers, dude.
Well, okay. So to go back to the field goal, I'm just asking. So why I always thought that the person holding the field goal, right, person holding the snap, that's usually like a quarterback.
It can be.
I think
Right.
in professional it's more. In college it's more, but in high
It's
school
it's definitely the backup quarterback.
Yeah. Well, my point
There's
is, it's
times
like
I've seen it's the punter too. It's weird.
yeah,
It's
I know
It's
that
weird.
a lot of times it's the punter. I see a lot that it's a punter or the backup quarterback. But like if you sent out your a quarterback, not just your starter or backup, whatever. If you send out a quarterback, you have the opportunity, especially in the high school level, to fake it a lot, or put somebody out there and like I see it sometimes in college or whatever where they've got them, fake a field goal or whatever, but. If you don't ever put a quarterback there, and then all of a sudden you put a quarterback there, I think everybody will be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 something's happening." You know what I mean?
Like on Mike, real quick. Swinging gate. Do you know what that is? Swinging gate. Football term. So it's whenever you have
the hook and ladder,
We scored
the hook and ladder,
No,
the
so
flea flicker.
when you're kicking an extra point, and they literally line up, like if this is the goal line, you've got the 3, that's the football. This is a horrible drawing. This drawing's actually going to go for sale. You have the long snapper, you have the holder, you have the kicker, and that's it. And then you've got all these linemen over here with probably the best athlete on the field right there.
Uh-huh.
So that's what we're looking at. Have you ever seen any team do that before? Called the swinging gate?
You've
You've never heard of the swinging gate?
I guess not.
Really? So there's a lot of stuff that can happen here.
Okay. Tell me about it.
I mean, you can
I wish
snap
we had a
it.
whiteboard in here.
Dude,
Go ahead.
can I use this wall? Like, can I just use the wall? For
No.
real? No? Well, that's no fun. Screw you too, I guess. But anyway, so you can snap it to the holder, kick it, whatever. Or that holder can throw it backwards and throw it to said best athlete on the field. We'll name him Mike. And he's behind the whole
Naturally.
but behind the whole offensive line going boom, boom, boom.
Oh.
Or if like the defense picks it up and they put like 3 dudes here and everybody else over here, they just go, "Hey guys, come back," and then they line up and they kick the extra point like normal. There's a lot of teams that do it, and it's frustrating as all get out.
I mean, I've definitely seen them motion out and motion back in, but I just didn't know. I didn't know that the terminology was called the swinging gate.
Now the hook and ladder is just when Mox throws it to Tweeter and then he flips Billy Bob running half a mile an hour down the field.
Love Varsity Blues.
Oh, my top 3 favorite movies. It's number 2.
Is it Vandergriff? Is that his name?
Yes.
What's 1 and 3?
Vanderbeek.
Vanderbeek.
What's
Yeah.
And it's who's the guy from Fast and Furious that
Paul
Walker?
Paul Walker's in it.
Paul
He's
almost
Lance.
said almost said Paul Crew.
He's Lance.
Longest
Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, Paul Crew. Longest
You
yard.
said Varsity Blues number 2. What's number 1 and 3 for you? Cool. Favorite
Toy
movies.
Story's number 1, hands down.
Okay.
Step Brothers might be number 3.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It's 3 completely different movies.
It's so out there, but like
What
I
a
mean,
wild!
Step Brothers-
I mean, he had that on. He had
It's
that on
up
lock.
there. Oh,
Yeah.
it's
He
locked.
was ready.
It's locked. Now I couldn't tell you 4 and 5 if I had a top 5. I'd have to think about it. But dude, I'm set on that, man.
Oh,
Like,
I'm fired up. What about you, Mike? What's top 3 for you?
Top 3 movies. Okay, the one movie that I've watched the most out of anything else is Space Jam, the original.
First one.
Yeah, love Space Jam. Sandlot's probably in my top 3.
Really?
Yeah, I loved Sandlot. Watched it a ton when I
I
was.
didn't know you're a baseball guy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Sandlot. And I think that my 3rd, just because I can't think of one right off the top of my head, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but the movie that kind of shocked me and kept me going like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Gone Girl.
Okay.
Do you remember Gone Girl?
I didn't watch it.
married
Okay,
guy.
well, stop.
Single guy versus
It's in,
married guy.
whoa,
Favorite movies are
time
just
out.
so
I mean, yeah,
broadly
okay, well,
I did.
I get it, but
have
Gone Girl
heard
was
it's
also
good.
in Cape.
I have
you
heard
know,
it's good, and I know the Cape thing. I never watched it.
yeah, it's good. It's just there's a lot of twists and turns. It's pretty cool, But I don't know necessarily it's my top 3, but it's in there now because I had no time.
Okay, so my last little bit that I have we kind of talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but we were kind of going through some stuff, what we want to talk about, how we want to finish, where we want to go with this. One of my questions was, what is a weird food combo that you just swear is elite, right? And I think Mike and Colt both had one. Colt, go ahead. What
Mine was almost
Yeah.
one of
Okay.
my top
Yeah. Well,
movies.
the
It was a
timeout.
snap
Timeout.
of a
Yeah.
finger, and I knew
I
this
mean,
one.
yeah, it was.
was quick.
This. I want everybody to really pay attention here because this is wild. What Colton is about to say to you is wild.
So I'm sitting in a Chinese restaurant, surprise. And my friend, he goes to the ice cream part, and he just gets vanilla ice cream with chocolate syrup. And I'm like, man, that don't look bad, whatever. And he grabs the soy sauce, and he takes about two little, I don't know what you call it, two little pours?
Two little dabs.
Little dabs, little taps at the top of the bottle. And then he starts mixing it up, and I'm like, I didn't dare you to do that. Like, that sounds like something we would do at like a junior high lunch table. Like, I dare you to put that teriyaki soy sauce in your ice cream, bro. You ain't gonna do it. No balls. I didn't have to do that. He did it on his own, and he went out of his way, and he goes, watch this. And he starts just like he's making like cookie dough or something. He's just going to town on it, mixing it up. And I'm like, dude, you can't play with your food, dude. Like, what are you doing? And he gives
You're
me
an
the
adult
first
now.
spoonful. Dude, we're 29, 30 years old, and this dude's playing in his ice cream like we're 12. But there's merit to it because now it
You had
looks
it.
like, oh, man, I tasted it. He goes, dude, I'll let you take the first taste. I'm like, there ain't no way. And so he grabs his spoon, and he tastes great. And I'm like, okay, well.
Gotta try it.
He wouldn't have done that if he was screwing with me because he's known to do it. And so I taste it, and I'm like, that tastes like brownies for real. It went from vanilla ice cream with chocolate on it to just like a hint of brownie. It's like
You're
salty,
saying
like a really bitter with really sweet. He said because he's really he has a culinary degree. Probably why we're friends because he knows food as well as I do. I'm an amateur. He's a professional.
you guys got good palates.
We match pretty good.
Yeah, you guys got good palates.
We're experienced. We're
So
veterans.
vanilla ice cream, chocolate syrup, and soy sauce.
I mean, it's the same idea of the crazy, like the bitter black coffee with a sugary donut.
Yes.
It's the same idea, but
It's out there.
where it's salty and sweet.
It
Is what
is.
I'm getting at, Mike. But
And it tastes
it's
like-
wild for me.
Now I'm not saying.
Yeah, but
you
I
have
mean,
to-
nothing that you mentioned is really salty, right? Like,
Soy sauce. That's what I'm talking
no,
about.
no,
like
I
a
know,
bitter-
that
but
is
I'm
salty. But
saying
I'm talking
he's
about,
using
I'm talking about
salt as
the, I'm
like
talking about
bitter.
the
I'm just-
black coffee and the donut.
Yeah, it's the
Bitter
the
coffee.
vast differences of the type of thing.
Yeah, but there's people that put
makes it
sugar in
good.
coffee.
You're using the salty too literally. He's using bitter. Like,
Salt, soy
Not sweet.
sauce, and sweet ice cream. Just not. It doesn't go for me.
Yeah,
But
no,
I get
it's
like I said,
it's
that's
weird.
something that like I
But-
expect a kid at.
But now
Bluff
I'm going to
on
do it when
Tuesdays
we
and
go eat
Thursdays.
Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it.
Oh, I'm trying it. for
Okay, so
real.
Well, you just said you.
what about you, Mike? What's
Okay.
your-
Mine. Well,
You want me
Mike.
to go? You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I actually
You knew yours too. You were really.
no, I actually don't.
quick
I
behind.
actually don't have one, but I did hear one, and this was from Jeff Daniels, the Dumb and Dumber guy.
I love Jeff Daniels.
Okay, so they asked him on a podcast what his favorite sandwich, if he could have for the rest of his life, what his favorite sandwich would be.
Oh, he said something weird.
Yes, this is crazy, but and so it makes me want to try it.
Yeah.
But here's what he said. He said you take a slice of pita bread, right? The pita, and he said take a thick layer of peanut butter. And he said a 1/4 inch of peanut butter on half of the pita bread. Okay. And then he said take cheddar and sour cream Ruffles chips and crunch them over top of the peanut butter, and then finish it off with barbecue sauce. And he specifically said Sweet Baby Ray's because that's his favorite 3 flavors. He says is the peanut butter, the cheddar, sour cream Ruffles, and the barbecue sauce. Sounds terrible, but again, like the soy sauce and ice cream, it's something that I feel like I have to try. So I
recommend it.
You've tried it.
I recommend it. It's not bad.
I mean, I'm gonna try all this stuff just because you guys said it. Mine's not nearly as crazy as all that. Mine's just what my grandma used to do, and we used to. I mean, she would have it all the time, and I would eat it too, and I always thought it was good. And I never thought that it was odd. I will say that I went like 25 years of my life never knowing it was odd until I did it in front of my wife. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, what? I just thought it was normal. Crackers and milk, like saltine crackers. Like,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's like it's yes.
So since we named 3 things like that, is it as weird as we think it is, or are we just missing out? We've named 3 salty versus sweet things that pan out. Is this just something that like we could go out and try? Like,
I mean, what's
just
the
2 random total items? We just have to have a sourish, really.
I know, but the soy sauce is what's throwing me off.
Yeah.
Like it's such a distinct taste.
Such a terrible taste, kind of too by itself. Like I mean, on Chinese food, it's all right, but
I wouldn't think on ice cream is good.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
it'd be
one of those
all
things
ice
that
cream.
just it might. I think there's probably a lot of things out there that a lot of people do, and I cannot wait. I hope there's a lot of activity on our Facebook page with people saying things because I will go out and try it. So if you're listening to this, I need you to go to the Facebook page when we make the post, and I want you to tell me something that's odd that you put together food-wise, and I need to know what it is because I want to try it. I am a food expert.
We need to try
I'll
it on
come
the
back. I'll come back and I'll try it myself.
Yeah, actually, we could probably do that. We could take a couple things and try it on the pod.
Talk about it.
Yes, absolutely.
I like where we're at.
I like where this is going.
Do we have a camera? Could we go live taste review?
I mean, the problem with going live is I've got a voice for radio, but I don't have a.
It would have to be 2 separate deals. Like, all right, you guys have to stick around because the podcast is over when we're freestyling. Now it's like
the after-hour show.
Camera staged. You know,
For sure, we need to try the food thing.
Yeah,
We need that. We should do this.
yeah, absolutely.
you guys just come here and make me eat the most ridiculous sounding thing.
Yeah.
Hey man, you want to come back next week?
Yeah, that's
Sure.
yeah, that could
Come
happen.
here with it.
So before we wrap up, I want to give you guys a funny story. We were talking about coaching and talking about the girls, whatever. So I'm a person who just kind of pokes fun at people. Like that's kind of what I do. I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like I'm mean. We just mess, right? Mess around. So got a couple kids that got all district this year. So I shot them a message, congratulated them for getting all district. I want to be the first one because for some weird reason in basketball, they post it on Facebook before they give anybody an email. So it's really dumb. Like I see it on Facebook, which is completely dumb, but whatever. So I give a shout out. Well, I was fortunate enough to get Coach of the Year, and Ivy Benson, one of our players this year. She told me thank you whenever I told her congrats on being all district, and she said thank you. And she said after that, she was like, by the way, congrats on getting Coach of the Year, I was kind of surprised. I thought the other coach probably deserved it. and I was reading the message. I was reading the message on like a Saturday or a Sunday morning, and I'm like,
And how did that make you feel?
I literally, the message back was, I know I poke fun a lot, but I'm not tough enough to handle something like that.
I have a soft core, okay? I'm a
Like,
chewy core.
look, I can dish it out. I cannot take it. All right, that is funny. So I had to give Ivy a shout out. She asked if I would give her a shout out sometime on the pod or Sarah's story, and there you go, Ivy. I did
tell me a
one.
funny
So
story about her and free throws as well. When you made them run for free throws, and it was the front end, back end, and
oh
man,
yeah,
that story-
I will tell that. That's probably
That
that's
story's good.
another time. That's a story for another time. But I think we're going to go ahead and just wrap this thing up. So Jake, why don't you go ahead and take us out?
You've been listening to Mike and Jake, the Almost Experts podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll hopefully be back with more questionable expertise.
And always remember that if we were ever wrong, no, we were not. See ya.
Mike and Jake, they kind of know stuff. Kind of. Mike and Jake, the almost experts, just bros being dudes when the gang gets reckless. Mike and Jake, the almost experts, tell it like it is, and they might be guessing.